Welcome to Cleveland Real Estate Investor. On this podcast, you will hear about every aspect of the real estate investment business. We will talk to rockstar investors about their businesses, how they built them, where they came from, and where they are going. Who am I? I'm Joe Lieber, and I've made millions of dollars in the real estate investment business over the last 20 years. If you're ready to hear the good and bad from a guy who's learned this business from the school of hard knocks and get educated by some badass entrepreneurs, then put your helmet on, strap on your chin strap, and let's ride. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cleveland Real Estate Investor. So today we're going to talk about a rehab versus a rent-ready house. There's a difference. There's a big difference. And some people take things too far. They take them way too far. They're doing rehabs for houses that are being rented. What's the difference? What are we talking about? So let's just dive right into this today. A rehab is a home where you're hitting a lot of the major stuff, right? Because this house would probably be something you're going to sell for retail. So what would a first-time home buyer or a prospective owner, occupant, purchaser look for? I've been selling real estate for 20 years as a broker. So I've worked with a lot of first-time home buyers, and I get to see exactly what they want and what they're looking for. So you have a couple buying, maybe let's say they're buying their first house, and they don't have a whole lot of money down. And the husbands and wives, they look at things differently, right? Guys look at things one way, women look at them a completely another way. Women are interested mostly in nice kitchens and bathrooms. And the men seem to be looking at the things that are expensive, the things that are hard to do, that I like to call, or we like to call in this business, CapEx, capital expenditure. It means things like roof, siding, windows, furnaces, ACs, hot water tanks, electrical boxes. These are the things that I see guys look at when they come into these properties. That's their main concerns because those things can get expensive. They can get really expensive. And if you're doing a rehab and selling a home for retail to a first-time home buyer, gosh darn it, you better have at least a lion's share of those things done. Women, on the other hand, they're coming in and don't get me wrong, they notice this stuff, but they're more focused on the kitchen. Is it nice? Is it pretty? Does it have granite countertops? Does it have appliances? And appliance packages for a first-time home buyer are expensive. A couple grand might not seem like a lot, but it is a lot. And they look at this stuff and they want it. And if you have that stuff in there, awesome. But they like to make sure the floor is nice and the drawers are all open and closed nice and a nice faucet and the bathrooms are clean and bright. And that's what gets them excited. And that's cool. And if you're selling a home, you should do those things. You should make sure it's freshly painted. You should make sure that a nice tile floor is down, not like a vinyl floor. I mean, step it up. Maybe it's a tile floor. Maybe it's vinyl plank flooring, something just really nice and looks good. Those are things that need to be done. Okay. So what's the difference now? I'm seeing people who are doing these things and then they're putting tenants in the houses. Now, we've all rented things, right? We've even rented a hotel room. You're probably a little less careful in a hotel room, right, than you are a home you own. So there's a difference. I mean, the care level is probably not going to be as high if you're renting it versus if you own it. So do you want to do all those things? Do you want to dial in a nice tile floor and granite countertops and the slow closing drawers if you're going to be renting the property out? Probably not. And honestly, their expectation is probably not that either. They're not in there looking for all those luxury upgrades. Now, if you're doing Class A type rentals, high end, okay, probably a little bit of a different story. Although I will say, a couple of 8 friends and I recently rented it's a mansion. A mansion. It was a 15,000 square foot home in Orlando, Florida for a all guys golf trip. Awesome, right? I mean, this house was laid out. Even had a bowling alley inside of it. A 2-lane bowling alley, right? An arcade, pool. It was insane. I was looking around at comps while I was on this guy's trip, and this is like a $5 million home. It was awesome. But I'll tell you what, to be totally honest, the house wasn't crisp. If I owned that home and I was doing Airbnb or renting it out the weeks I wasn't there, and that was my $5 million home, I would be freaking pissed. You could tell there's some wear and tear, to say the least. And that's being nice about it. So even that guy who might have upgraded a lot of things, because the caliber of the home, not just the size, but he had upgraded a lot of fixtures and, to make the home nice. I'd be super upset. So you really can't do some of these things because they're going to take a beating. I mean, for crying out loud, you had 8 guys in that house having a big eye time, if you know what I mean. And probably a family coming right behind us. I mean, a house that size, you probably have 3 or 4 families renting something like that out for the week. And you got kids in there terrorizing the place. So there's a difference between rent ready and rehab. And when you're doing rent ready, you have to lower your expectations. It might not be something that you would personally live with, but for someone renting, it's fine. A vinyl floor is fine. Formica countertops, they're fine. Maybe a little stain in the carpet, you can keep that. Clean it, get it cleaned. You'll be fine. A couple scuffs in the wall, no ceiling fans. That's okay. You don't necessarily need ceiling fans. Just an outlet with a switch will be more than sufficient. In some places, air conditioning is not even a requirement. Here in our area in Cleveland, it's unusual to see a lot of homes with central air. It's cold here most of the time. As I like to say, it's even cold in July. It is. For you Clevelanders that are listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. Those July nights when it's 90 during the day, but you have a light jacket on at night. What the heck, man? So, it's not always like that, right? So getting the house rent ready, not going all out, just making it habitable, making it nice where people want to live. They feel proud to come there. It's safe. That's what you really want to do if you're going to be renting property, not going to the extreme, but making it nice. Also, I have to say that I do a lot of Section 8 rentals. I love Section 8 rentals. That tenant base, they don't even want carpet in their homes. They prefer either like a hardwood floor, vinyl flooring. They prefer that low pile carpet, like you might walk through Macy's, you're going through the clothing department. It's that real low pile, like commercial grade carpet. They prefer to do that so they can just kind of sweep up. It might sound crazy, but not everybody has a vacuum cleaner and wants to sit there and vacuum their floors once a week or whatever. So they prefer no carpet or like a low pile carpet where they can just sweep up. And you might think, I'm doing them such a nice favor. I'm going to put in top of the line plush carpet in there. And a lot of people don't even want it in there. Just too much maintenance in it. They like to wear their shoes in their home in some places, which I can never get used to, by the way. In our market, we don't wear shoes in our house. Now, yes, we have snow and different things that nature, but my wife will yell at me if I walked in the house with shoes on. She's like, I don't know what urinal you were just standing around. And she's right, though, really. No matter where you live, nobody wants to come with their bare feet an hour later and you're walking through there with being in some urinal and oh gosh, right? So some people do want to wear their shoes in their house regardless as to what I think. And they don't want carpet and trekking in snow, mud, and ice, and it's easier for them. So you just have to get your mind around rent ready versus rehab ready. And we do a lot of rehabs. We lay them out and they're very nice, but it's a different base, right? We're looking for people who are looking to buy the homes and not rent them. So you have to know going in, am I going to rehab this house to sell? Or am I rehabbing it to rent? And there's a massive difference there. So hopefully this helped a little bit. Thanks for tuning in to another episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.